Hey everyone, this is Justin again. Module 3 STEM Activity Screencast is what we're doing today. So the activity description: create a water filtering system modeled after layers of soil from readily available materials. The list of provided materials is there, and then the found materials as well. So there's some further information on the topics that were found. Visualizing soil properties video, the water science video from Dr. Dietrich, and then a web page on the water cycle from the U.S. Geological Survey. So first thing I started with was trying to figure out how and what of how I was going to do this activity. So I couldn't figure out exactly what the paper bag was for, if it was just for catching materials like spillages or anything like that, or if there was a greater purpose to it in terms of filtration. So I did try a little video here to see if the brown paper would actually permeate to let water in, and I won't play the whole thing, but spoiler alert, it doesn't. So material layout, you can see I have all the materials there, and for the mesh I was using screen printing mesh. It actually did a really good job of filtering. So water permeation, do I cut holes, or do I poke holes in the bottom with the awl, or do I try and cut it out? I didn't like the way the cutout was going, so I ended up going with just poking holes in the bottom of the cup, and it worked well. So the next thing was stacking or not stacking. Stacking, to me, felt a little clumsy, but individual cups on the bottom of each of the filtering cups would be more material. But in the end, I ended up actually going with the picture on the bottom there of cups underneath each cup, and then pouring that cup into the next filter basket. So the first filtration run, it went well, but I ended up with very little, as you can see there, very little water, just because the coffee filters that were holding the substrate they soaked up a lot of the water, and then what was lost in each filtration process, so I ended up with very little water after that one. So I learned to make some more water than I originally had. Second and third runs went well. I tried to figure out if I should go from a coarse substrate to a fine substrate, or a fine substrate to a coarse substrate. I intuited that I should go from a fine to a coarse. I thought that was more of how the actual infiltration process worked from what I could gather, but I wanted to test the hypothesis with the second and third runs. So in the end, the sample on the left is coarse to fine, the right is fine to coarse. I didn't see a huge difference between the two of them, so I'm not sure which one is better, but I thought they were both about the same. I think to get better results, you change your substrate. So the inquiry curriculum is here that we were given, and here are my scores for it. I went more teacher-guided for the first one because we were given the question to investigate. And then on the other one, because of the open-ended nature of this assignment, I scored it learner self-directed, and the rest of them, we dictated what constitutes evidence and how we collected it. Learner formulates the explanation after summarizing evidence. So we came up with what the explanation was. Did it work? Did it not work? We examined other resources on our own. So I went and found more information to see if I was on the right track. And then we are communicating it and justifying what we're saying on our own. We weren't given any instruction for any of that stuff, and that's the power of what we do. So hope everybody had fun with this, and I will see you in the next screencast. Have a good one.